Hello and welcome to this week's Damp Show. It's a guy called Anthony Parry, and it's how to use tanking slurry to stop damp coming through. Harry Parry, let's hear what he's got to say. And this is constructive criticism to give a bit of comedy element. And if you laugh, you laugh. If you don't, you don't. Come on, lad.
Hey everyone, today's video I'm going to be talking about tanking.
It's fucking waterproofing, Alan. Waterproofing, not tanking, waterproofing. You're not building a tank, you're not putting a goldfish in, it's fucking waterproofing, lad. A bit thin, that. What's it say on bag? Waterproof tanking slurry. Even fucking manufacturers have started doing it. It's not tanking slurry. It's the reason why they've put tanking slurry is because every fucker's been calling it tanking slurry. So I want to meet the man, the first person that started calling it tanking slurry above ground. The reason why it were called tanking slurry is because in old days, if it were a basement that had 4 walls that were all earth retaining, and there were and you wanted it waterproofing all the way around, you created a tank. So you waterproofed it all the way around, and if you poured water in, the water wouldn't go out, so you'd have like a swimming pool. So a swimming pool is creating like a tank. So in that respect, would you call it pooling slurry? Swimming pool in slurry. Yeah, so we've got some swimming pool in slurry. So tank or swimming pool, similar things, because they both hold water or keep water out. Swimming pool in slurry. It ain't got that ring to it, has it? Anyway, enough about me. It's pointless me again put in a bad mood before I start the video, isn't it? Well, fucking hell. It's on a cartoon. Caricature is sen. I wasn't expecting that. It must be quite handy with with graphics and stuff. Can you do one for me, Mr. Parry? Fucking hell. Looks a bit like him and all, doesn't it?
So today I'm going to be using some tanking solution. I'm using the Everbuild waterproofer tanking slurry. So I'm going to be using this on my walls in here. I'm going to be putting some all the way.
I just want to know why is using tanking slurry. I'd like him to explain to me why he's using tanking slurry. I'm just trying to look, see whether that ground level outside looks high. It could be high. So, you know, if that ground level is raised up, then it would be excused in just putting waterproofing slurry up to the height of the ground level. Let's see.
Right, one thing I did forget to mention was...
Oh, he's a plasterer. Anthony Parry, plasterer. He forgot to put that on. I'm going to put it on for him. If you want to get in touch with Andrew, www.anthonyparryplastering.co.uk or info@anthonyparryplastering.co.uk. So it's a nice sign that, but you can see he's one of these plasterers, uses a fucking postage stamp handboard, tiny handboard, because he's got fucking arms like cotton.
But first things I'm going to do, now that it's all prepared, I'm going to mix it. So this tanking slurry says you need to put 4.5 litres in for each bag. So what I've done in my bucket, you can actually see there is some markings.
I think what he'll find as well is if he reads bag again, that on job that he don't really need to put waterproofing slurry in, it'll say use clean water and a clean fucking bucket, which if you looked at his buckets again, it's full of plaster. So he's going to have all bits of plaster in with his waterproofing mix. Now, if it was below ground level and it did come under hydrostatic pressure, that might blow off at wall, Mr. Parry. Hiya, Dampsam here. I really hope you're enjoying our video. Did you know, if you want to watch a full, unedited version of this, if you become a Damp fan for $2.99, which is as much as an expensive cup of coffee up here, so if you press that button and become a Damp fan, You can watch a full unedited version of this. Nah, let's get back watching this bit, eh? See you in a bit.
So I've just got it to the roughly, I think it's between 4.2 and 4.5 litres. So I've got it to about 4.5 on mine. So I'm just going to mix it as usual, and then I'm going to start painting it on the walls.
See, that'd kill me, that. A site like that, all stuff piled up in the middle, and you just can't work. If I'm on a job like that, all that shite there that's in the middle, that's coming out. That big extractor, just put it outside while you're working. It'll make it a lot easier. A lot easier.
Up and down, side to side, in between.
All I'll say is there's a reason why it tells you to put a certain amount of water in for a bag, and them at ratios. When you're measuring out in preservation industry, you've got to follow instructions, and you've got to have right amount of water for right amount of product. And if you don't, then there's a chance that you're going to weaken that product. He's mixed it thin because he's got all these holes in this brickwork, and he's trying to get that liquid to cover all them holes. So he's thinking that he needs to cover every single hole, because in his head, water pisses through walls at pressure. Even if you're doing a damp-proof system, he's got it in his head that water just like a tap, like you're turning a tap on, and it just sprays through walls.
It does spread fairly well. So if you do have any
Yeah, because it's like fucking piss.
holes, you can just push it.
It's like paint. It's thinner than paint, that. Thinner than paint.
As I said,
Missed a bit.
like areas there where there was a tiny hole, just fill it in.
Why are we doing this?
So that's how I put it on. And remember, this is just the first coat. So
Yeah, there's some more money to spend.
Get it covered. The first coat and the second coat goes on a lot thinner because you don't have to spread it as much. Yeah.
Fucking hell, he's going to be putting water on. You can't get it much thinner than that, can you, Amph? Fucking hell.
Not space either. So what I will be doing after this is all dried is...
He just mentioned us. All Dry. That's my company. Do you think he knew we were going to do this video?
I'm not going to be screwing these sockets onto the wall. What I will be doing is I'm going to be putting some drywall behind them, and I'm going to stick them onto the wall. Right, the main reason for doing this is that I don't want to... Hang on.
I want edge of my chair. I can't wait to hear this. Right. So I'm going to build him up here. I'm going to build Amph up here. We're going to find out the main reason why Amph is waterproofing this room that's bone dry. It's above ground level. Some walls are party walls. Some walls are dividing walls. It is Amph. Let us hear what the reason is.
When I breach the damp course, you drill any holes, that's going to be an area where some water can actually come through.
It fucking isn't. Is it fuck? What water's gonna come? So if you drill holes into, mind blown. So above ground level, if you drill holes into that wall all the way around, water's gonna come through. Yeah, if you hit a fucking water main, you'd have cunt. Fucking hell.
So let's talk about why tanking...
Hang on a minute. Cracking haircut there. Amph.
Solution is a good form of stopping water coming through. So the tanking slurry, it's like a waterproof membrane. So
It's not like one. It is one. It is a waterproofing membrane. It's not like one. It's not pretending to be one. It is a fucking waterproofing membrane. You have cunt.
what you're painting on is the water is not going to go through
Is he doing fucking tragedy? Tragedy with fucking hand.
that. But you've got to take certain things into account. The water has got to go somewhere else.
What water? What fucking water? What water's going? What water? Is it from pond? Has it got a pond in garden? Has liner been breached? Has liner been slashed? Fucking hell.
So if you are stopping the water coming in,
Tragedy.
it has to go somewhere else. So it can either go
Tragedy.
back out or it gets diverted around because what.
I think is his house in the middle of the lake, and they've put like a big barrier around it, or in the middle of a river. Is this what he's on about? Water being diverted and fucking hell.
Water is and always will be an enemy because it will always find a way.
Water will always find a way. It will if it's below ground level, Amph. If you're below ground level, it will find its weakest point. Like them fucking little air holes that you've not filled in because your stuff's been like piss and paint and too thin. But misdiagnosis. That's the worst enemy, misdiagnosis, especially for customers, Amph.
Right, guys, so I thought I'd give you a bit of a backstory on why I'm actually tanking the walls in here.
Is that not it? Is there more? Fucking come on, Anth. Let us know. Why are you wasting all that money on waterproofing products, time, energy? Why are you wasting all that money? Is it because it's your mum's house? Is it your house? Let me have a guess. I'm going to say it's his own house. And his belt and braces. He thought, I'm going to do it as much as I can get waterproof, watertight. I'm doing it.
This is actually quite a long project, this job. This is the lounge in my house. And
you Reds! I say, have a bob on me. If you want lottery numbers for next week, give us a ring.
Basically, I've had some issues from when we first bought it. We had a couple of joists.
Him and their lass, they've had some issues with this, unless he's bought it with his mum. I think Mrs. Parry, Miss or Mrs. Parry, they've had issues with this house. And I think it's condensation. I think it's issues with condensation in corners. In fact, I'll put my fucking money on it. I'll put my house on it. Put my hat on it. Not my house. Put my hat on it. Forget I said house.
It had gone rotten, and when we first looked it up, it just looked like they'd rotted away. So
if they've rotted away, if joists have rotted away, lack of adequate ventilation in subfloor, and they probably were touching damp masonry. Don't mean to say it's water that's coming through, Amph.
So I replaced them, and then a year later, I decided it was time for me to redo my lounge. And basically I lifted the floor up, and lo and behold, we had about 2 inches of water underneath.
So here we go. Right, so he's had standing water in his subfloor, which is it's not an uncommon problem. There's a lot of areas where you might have an underground stream or river, and when it rains, the water table rises up, and it can come into some subfloors, especially if they're like that. If they're earth oversight, well, that's what we call an oversight, and that's an earth oversight. And if you've got standing water, then that water's got to evaporate out into the atmosphere. And what tends to happen is if it's not ventilated, adequately enough underneath, then what will happen is wood timber being hygroscopic will absorb that moisture, and it'll be at risk of decay and wood-boring insect attack. So, and listen, I've done videos on them. If you go on YouTube, search for Dampsam, I've done loads of videos and different scenarios. And it's, I'm not saying it's a simple fix, but it's not a fix what needs waterproofing at all. One of the things that you can do there is cleared out subfloor art. You can either concrete it if you wanted, put a membrane down and concrete it, or if you don't want to go to that expense, just put a membrane straight up at top and make sure it's adequately ventilated, and then reinstate your timbers. Make sure all your timbers are isolated on ends. Paint ends with liquid DPM, sit them on a plastic DPM when you put them in wall, wedge them so it allows air to flow around them rather than putting mortar up against them again. So lots of things you can do other than tanking.
It wasn't all the way through because my house is on a hill and basically the water was just like leaning up against the back walls. So we had to figure out what was happening. So I took all the flooring out and basically we had to figure out what was going on. So we had to start from the outside first. All the water was going directly into the house.
Let's have a look here. So floor level's just below where that air brick is. No, floor level might be higher actually. So yeah, so floor level could be higher. I'm wondering whether that air brick goes straight into out. I'd say, yeah. So we at render stops. That's probably floor level, and that vent is a subfloor vent. So I'd probably say it needs more subfloor ventilation. It probably wants one either side, one under gas box, and then one round other side. You'd probably look at putting some mechanical ventilation in there once you've addressed issues in subfloor. I don't know. I wouldn't have said that he needs to dig that much up. I'd be looking at, if he's got down pipes and gullies, I'd be looking at one at gullies. I'd have a drain survey done, get a camera down it, see whether it's cracked, have a look where water's running to, because that sounds like it's probably running under house. If there's been a bus water main in road, contact water board, ask them if they've had any bus pipes in that vicinity in the last few years, because if they have, volume of water that comes out of a water pipe before water would get to it, that will flood ground around it, and it will also fill voids and create heads of water and stuff, which I think I've already talked about. So yeah, I think I've just got a funny feeling. He's a plasterer, but I've just got a funny feeling he's got a lot of time on his hands, because there's just no need for that. No need for that at all.
There was some soil around the front of it, so I had to get rid of all of that. And then I had to put a French drain in. So this was just to make sure that...
But where's French drain going to go to? It's all right putting a drain around front. It needs... That water then needs to go somewhere. If it's a French drain, a French drain is like it's like a piece of ducting that's about, it's more than 100 mil, right? It might be 150 mil wide, but it's got all holes in it. So it's got a lot of holes in it. So that's if it is a French drain. I'm thinking he might be thinking about an eco drain. Let's have a look.
All of the water was going away into the garden, so this was quite a big project on itself doing that. So after I'd done my French drain,
I'm not being funny. There's no. I'll be looking for where water came from. That was concrete right up to building. So volume of water went into subfloor. I'll be looking at other things. He's making a bit of a mountain out of a molehill, but he's giving me a bit of fucking content, isn't he? Yes.
I'd also tanked the walls on the outside to try and stop any of the water going through, to make sure that when the water did get to it, it would go backwards and head towards the French drain, rather than what it was doing beforehand was all of the soil was actually holding all the moisture, and
basically what soil does.
The water was just coming straight through.
But it will dry out. It when it rains, soil gets wet. When conditions change, soil dries out.
All the brickwork, so the brickwork wasn't in the best of shapes. So that was part one of this little process that I had, was that I had to dig out the front of the house, put a French drain in, put a load of stone down, dig out into my garden, so I had to soak away. Yeah, it was quite a lot of work. So I got to this stage. This was the stage now where I can actually start plastering. And for belt and braces, we decided that we were going to tank the top part.
Who's we? Fucking royal we.
Parts above the flooring, so that if any moisture did want to come up, it would stop coming through. Right.
What? If moisture wanted to come up, it'd stop coming through. Vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. I think he's just confusing his son. I think his stuff that he's saying, I think he's trying to believe. He's trying to like convince himself. I think he's made stuff up, and yeah, I think he's got it. He's got it in his head that water is just like he's living in the middle of a river, and water is just attacking his house, and he feels that he has to just try and waterproof everything. I'm surprised he didn't put like a concrete oversight down, because if he's on about water coming up, surely that it and then he's waterproofing walls above floor level, because he ain't mentioned about waterproofing it below floor level. So he must just have money to burn.
So that is why I've had to tank my thing. I hope you found some of the information in this video useful and helpful.
Well, we've found it enough to make me a bit of content and to put it right and tell people what you should not do. So thanks for that. Cheers for that, Amph.
I drop videos every Tuesday on plastering.
I'm gonna fucking look at them. Right, that's my job for today. I'm gonna see what Amph has put on.
I do all sorts of videos, from tutorials to...
What you fucking teaching? What's he teaching? I hope he's not teaching that, what he's just done there. I bet all them in their street coming round and that, like, yeah, what you done there? Oh, yeah, this is what you need to do. I ain't got enough money in bank, Anth, to do what you've done.
Tool reviews, to just plastering vlogs, just to see what I've got up to in the week. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.
Bye-bye now, Anth. So I'm definitely going to subscribe to Anth. Let me just listen. If anybody wants, because I've got some content from it, I'm gonna. I did it at the beginning, didn't I? So his name's Anthony Parry, and if you want to watch his tanking videos and have a laugh, go on his site. I'm definitely going to have a look at his plastering stuff. So he might be coming on here again. Hold on. So that's today's issue. This is today's. It's scrambled my brain, I think, watching that. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to go onto our Facebook page, join our Facebook group. We'll point you in the right direction when it comes to waterproofing or damp proofing, condensation, every type of damp. Not all damp is rising. My Facebook group's called Why Is My Property Damp? Dampsam. So yeah, I'm gonna have a lie down now. See you up next time. Bye bye now.